Okay, is the audio any better now?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
You
Figured out
sound
my
like you
problem.
now.
Excellent. I figured out my problem. I was playing around. I've got for the Yeti, they released a bunch of new software that's got voice modulation and all of that stuff, and I was farting around with it.
Oh,
And
Nice.
I apparently forgot to turn it off.
That's 100% what it was. Yep.
Yes. I am going to have to explore that for my own purposes at some point.
Yeah, it's
However,
called, go ahead.
if you ever want to sound like a ghostly child, that's the settings to use.
Yes.
I believe that one was called, that one might have been Alien.
That works too. Yeah, that works too.
So, yeah, it's called the G Hub. So it handles the Blue Yeti and also the Logitech C920 camera.
Yeah. I use G hubs for my keyboard and mouse combo. They're all like.
Yeah. So how much XP did we get last time?
That's a good question. Do I get XP? No, it's not. Anyway, new adventure site for Stonegarden, new hex for entering Stonegarden, right? Or at least. I need to look at the list again.
Yeah, I don't think we found any treasure and we didn't fight any monsters.
That's correct.
Solution, Hex, Adventure Site, Monsters, Treasure, Stronghold, Pride, Dark Secret, Risk of Life, and
Risk
Extraordinary Action.
Some folks risk lives.
not on this character though.
And I used my pride because I failed because this is the game I have no pride.
Yes, that's right. So that's an XP. And we are back live. Yay, everyone. We're back after a few weeks of not being back because my fault this time. Wasn't feeling too well last time. We should have had our session, but here we are, and we're figuring out the XP for last session. Very important, because the adventurers need them. The XP, that is. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 for Pride for Soren, right? And will we give one for Frida, so she is at 4 as well for risking her life? Because she was trying her best to save Celestial, if I remember correctly. Save
I'm pretty
everyone,
sure
in fact.
I killed all my willpower trying to save people,
Yeah. So
parrying blows.
I'll give you one for that. Brennar was also risking his life. I mean, everybody was, in a way. Maybe Soren was hanging back a bit more than others, but because
Soren's
that's what he
also
does.
an archer.
Yeah, so it doesn't really count as hanging back, maybe.
Up until I charged down the orc and broke my sword, killing him.
Yes.
Which is very risky for Soren.
It is. So, yeah, I think 4 all around, maybe? Seems reasonable.
I'm all around.
Except maybe for Torben, who didn't risk his life yet.
Don't know what you're talking about.
The day's young.
The day is young.
Yeah,
and
I put 3.
so
it's
is
fine.
he. Did he, I'll give him one for appearance and adventure site, I guess.
It's a new hex to me as well.
Exactly. There you go. You will
I
have.
didn't take the risk of life or anything that Celestial did, but it's a new site, it's a new hex, and I did appear.
Indeed. And I, on that note, I did mention that our graphic designer has not had the time to fix up our overlay to the new tokens and character for Celestial. So for B's new character. So I'm sorry, audience, you'll just have to be confused a little bit when B is actually not articulating an ethereal and half elf and instead grumpy dwarf, because our graphic designer is finishing up her latest book, and this is taking a lot of time. Naturally, any writer will tell you this. Anyway, let's introduce everyone so we're in the right page. On the left, we have...
Hey folks, Josh LaPointe. I'm playing Brainer, the half-elf sorcerer.
Jessica LaPointe, I am playing Frida, the bloody demon slayer, wolfkin fighter.
I'm Chris. I play Soren, the token human, woodsman archer.
And I am B, now playing Torben, token dwarf,
Exactly.
a rogue among men, and wolfkin and half elves and dwarves, really.
Yeah,
Kind of a rogue
among
everyone.
everyone.
Let's be honest.
Exactly. So this is session 40, you guys. How does that make you feel?
I feel like 40 sessions in, we should not get our ass kicked by orcs, but that's a big difference between Forbidden Lands and other fantasy games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a bit
and-
eye-opening last session.
This game is very much how the dice roll. 40 sessions in any other like fantasy game, and yeah, there's no way orcs would be able to even touch us.
I can say that in this game you might get very powerful in terms of your talents and how many attacks you have and your powerful magic items, but you will be stuck with those hit points and critical injuries and the mishaps. It's really, so far in our campaign, it's only been the magic mishaps that have done a character in.
And
Story.
let's be honest, Celestial Passage wasn't done in. He'll just return to dominate all.
Yes. Technically, he's not dead. Technically.
I mean, in theory, he should get the XP just for when he does come back.
It's true.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Mwah. Or, yeah, however we put that, I guess. But yes, I would be fine with that, I guess. Yeah. Anyhow, having said all this, this is show rated R. Think Quentin Tarantino directing a fantasy western story. There will be blood, there will be horrors and cruelties of various kinds, most likely. We'll see.
Or Django with werewolves.
Yeah, why not? I mean, except you never turn into either a wolf or a human, yeah. Shall we do a synopsis of the last session? It was a month ago.
When last we gathered, the intrepid heroes were trying to recover from having lost the initiative on a combat, and that they had left partially undone. Frida was the first to act, and tried her damnedest to take out the orcs around her. Unfortunately, she wound up falling under their axes. Thankfully, temporarily. The situation got quite desperate, as even Brainard attempted things. To the point where the former druid of the party, Celestial Passage, attempted magics outside of his training to shift the tides of battle by becoming a massive effing bear to destroy the orcs. Now, as he started to change forms, a rift in space and time appeared, and it reached across the realms to the lands the demons themselves came from. And one mighty demonic arm was seen reaching out and hauling him in before the portal winked closed. Fortunately, through rallying together, the adventurers were able to actually turn the tides of the battle and survive. Nursing their wounds, they eventually made their way onwards to Stonegarden, land of the dwarves, where they were hoping to get some crucial information and maybe some assistance as well. Unfortunately, in the Forbidden Lands, nothing is ever quite so easy. And Stonegarden has troubles of its own. So for any chance of aid and that information, the heroes have to help them with something that normally would result in the exile of their people. Searching the depths of the earth for whatever's troubling those lands, and perhaps finding a missing prince. But that is a secret.
Pretty much. Yes, indeed. You have met your presumptive guide, Lupendus Firm, a very grumpy dwarf. Though I think you're getting along decently, aren't you, so far? He's been describing all the things that he has prepared.
Well, they were quite grumpy at each other, and then it turned out that he could help the party get a couple things, so
yes.
The party cheered up a little bit.
Yes, indeed. And you were also joined by the Princess Arvia of Kroom, the dwarven princess of the Kroom clan. And it seems like Arvia and Frida are already striking up some kind of a friendship there. Or at least Frida seems to like Arvia a lot.
I like people who are blunt and know their way around a weapon.
That would be her. Yeah, that describes her very well indeed. That's her. And so you've been spending some time getting ready for an expedition to the underworld. Were you done with the preparations yet? You might have been.
I believe everyone had most of what they were looking for, gear-wise and everything. And some time had been spent on picking up a couple tricks.
Indeed. So, there will be time then, I guess, to move on to start the expedition into the bowels of the earth. As you are preparing to leave, what, you thought this would be simple? Of course you didn't think this would be simple. It's Granström writing. As you're preparing to leave, you will recognize a couple of dwarves who you've been seeing talking to Torben before. This time, however, so this would be Rigalda Raven and the patron Bearwild. This time, however, they're not addressing Torben. They're asking Brenar to, if you could please. They are dressed in the fineries of the highest status dwarves of society, being of rank.
Raynar looks awkwardly over towards them. Yes, can I help you?
The Petron is a stone singer. They are very high status, held in high regard among the dwarves.
Okay, assuming Raynar may know this, he'll attempt his best to bow and say, how can I help?
Just looking at their fineries, Brenar can draw certain conclusions, right?
Yep, okay.
There's a difference between what Brainerd knows and what Brainerd gives a fuck about.
That's also a very key point, too.
This is true. Yes. You are about to embark on a very important expedition for not just dwarvendom, but potentially beyond dwarvendom. Why don't we have Brenar roll an insight check here? I feel like. They look... Yeah, I'll give you a short message.
Did we ever find out how much we're being paid for this?
Nothing.
In exchange of aid.
Yeah.
Yes.
God damn, I hate people.
We understand you are a mighty sorcerer in your lands, says the patron. As a fellow practitioner of the bending of forces, I do not understand quite how surface dwellers engage with the etheric forces of the world, but never mind that. For fee, maybe you could report back to us and us alone when you return.
What information are you looking for within?
Anything you might observe down there. In fact, he opens a satchel, brings out a vial. In fact, maybe you could use this in case of an emergency. If anything in the depths seem to threaten the surface world. You understand?
I take it. Mikkel, I have Poisoner.
Yep.
I'm a crafter by heart, by literal talent.
Yep.
Can I try and put two and two together what he's trying to passive aggressively give me here?
Yep. This is, in fact, a poison. And as a poisoner, I'm guessing that you will be able to establish just how deadly it is.
Rank 1, you can use the crafting skill to concoct poisons and antidotes. See the table. Potency of poisoning goes beyond 1. Doesn't say anything outright that I can't. It says that I can make them.
Yep. I've put it on your sheet. If you want to take a moment and, I don't know, do either a crafting or a lore check,
Okay.
I'll allow you to identify just what kind and how powerful.
Okay. So I look back at the two gentlemen in their fine robes and say, and once we come back up from the underdepths, where can you be found?
Oh, when you come back up, we will be very much aware that you come back up and be there to greet you. It is no small thing to come out of that gate. I expect the king himself will greet you.
Well, let's I'm gonna do one more over on these guys. For all intents and purposes, Mikkel, I've now dealt sufficiently with
Double talking royalty?
yes. Thank you. Thank you,
welcome.
Frida. Is it possible that yeah, never mind. You know what? No, this is fine. We're just gonna run with this. This is fine. So yeah, I'll make my way back over to the rest of the group, assuming they're not immediately nearby, and say, those dwarven fellows over there gave me this in case things goes really caca, and I kind of shake it back and forth.
Is this one of those things where we're going to agree to the quest and then say fuck it when we get back?
No, that looks like a very specific type of file.
I'm planning on doing a bit of sleuth work on it, as you know, it is a random vial given from, no offense, their dwarven friend, but I don't know your kind from a hole in the ground.
The
That's
dwarves
fine.
might have
Most
been
of my
decent.
kind don't know you from a hole in the sky.
Exactly, says Lupendas.
Excellent.
We could just tell them, no, do your own fucking job.
They, for what it's worth, Soren, they seem more my type.
Doesn't make it better.
And
Like, are we supposed to use this on a creature? Are we supposed to drink this if things go really badly? Like, is it?
that's what I'm hoping to determine here very shortly. I think it's more along the lines of, if we get chased by a really big monster down there, we throw it at them. That's currently what I've got so far.
I'm gonna go find those assholes.
I point in the general vicinity where it just came from. And said,
Look to your left and take 3 strides.
Also, if it makes you feel better, it's not the wars I don't trust. It's double talking royalty.
That's, I mean, they're leaving at this point.
Hey,
4 strides.
shady folk.
They're looking at each other.
What the fuck does the vial do?
Yes, he means you.
That is no way to speak to your
I don't care.
hosts.
What's it
That's
do?
how we speak to royalty. That's what happens.
This is quite not the
Yeah, we know we're highly unusual. Roll with it. It's faster.
I don't like people. I don't like sorcerers. I don't like religious folks. And I don't like nobility. I've lost one of my few friends recently. Tell me what the vial does.
I think Brenar knows what the vial does.
It's not what I said.
Says the man.
So tell me what the vial does, or I will kill you now.
Oh,
I've seen him do it.
there will be
I'll die in the process, but so will you.
that's intimidating.
The human's crazy enough to try it.
Is Frida
Wait,
gonna?
can I was gonna say, can I add anything to him?
If you want to
I
roll
just,
your threatening, I am fine with that. You have +1 on your might check to threaten people.
Oh, these tall folk.
Ooh.
Quick running blood I hear in them.
So she just stands menacingly behind Soren.
Yep.
Recently lost one of our own.
With the hand on the hilt, I suppose.
She probably doesn't even have a hand on the hilt, just kind of her arms crossed, and she's scary enough as it is.
Yep, that's fair. It's Bearwill walks up to the rest of you, closes the distance so as to not, make too much noise. It's a poison, just in case. Just in
What
case.
kind of poison? I've seen many.
It will kill. Just about whatever you might subject it to. There are beasts in the depths.
Does it kill demons? Does it kill blood mist? Does it kill ghosts?
Well, not a lot of things kill incorporeal creatures with poison.
The blood mists, as far as we know, have never been in the depths. They look at each other. But you would have to ask the Dwellers about that. We don't quite know what beasts they are referring to be honest. And they look a bit embarrassed at each other. The Dwellers will know more, but just in case it is something that could threaten the surface, you understand, that might help you destroy it. It's a service. We are helping you.
Raynor at this point will actually yell back and says, "Is it something they have to drink or something that we apply to weapons?"
Or is it splash damage?
You can apply it to your weapons, or I think that would probably be the safest way to use it, yes.
I can take care of that if you're worried about it.
I don't know if
Indeed.
Malingar would like having poison on her.
Poison can have adverse effects on the metals of certain materials and weapons.
Yes, I'd probably say developing Malingar's personality, she probably would not appreciate it.
And that's not to say that there might not be where it's special poison that it might influence the personality beyond just having put it on it.
Oh yeah, she doesn't need any more influence, trust me.
The two
If
noble
anything-
dwarfs are looking at each other with a lot of confusion, to be honest. I am going to see if they might know.
If they jump
What-
at the name Malingar?
Yes, that name. Yes, that name. Let's.
Oh, my fine and noble dwarves, I think you're done here once you get your heads out of your thought processes.
Right.
Let's see now. I will roll.
So I'll go back over to
I'm actually
Braynar
gonna push that.
and
I pass.
Is
I pass the
this-
vial immediately to you.
Is this? They are looking now. They are looking very intently at the sword. Is this that legendary sword?
This is mine. Back off.
Yes, of course. We don't meant no disrespect, of course.
Indeed, tis the legendary sword, mine back off, wielded by Frida, the bloody demon slayer.
It's
The very
simply.
big Wolfkin Demon Slayer.
It's simply.
Do they make small wolfkin demon slayers? I've never seen one.
There are a few midgets. Most
Bite
die at
size.
birth.
It's just that we've heard tales of this blade and its effect on the surface world centuries
Yes, well,
ago.
people keep telling me
millennia,
I'm
perhaps.
famous, so you know.
Well, that you are, madam.
At this point, Frida's literally just trying to make them as uncomfortable as possible because it's amusing her.
I think she's succeeding. Yes.
Everyone who's accountable, raise your hand. I see your hand going up, Soren. I see your hand going up.
no, I'm done with them.
Yes, huge be with you as you delve into the dark.
May your faith continue to flow.
Indeed. Yes.
Some religious sentiment that's going to make people feel better.
Well, I suppose Regalda will take her leave, while the Petron Bearwild will, in fact, guide you towards the next step of your journey. That is towards the gates down on the southern part of this map.
So, Braynar, when we get a chance, we should look at this and make sure it's actually is what it says. And not that I don't trust people, but
You don't trust people?
I don't
I
trust
concur.
people.
I
And
was gonna get you to take a look at it with me.
perfect. Just in case it's, instead of a poison, it's like an amplifier or something.
Additionally, no offense for everybody here, and then I look back towards Frida and look back towards you. If anybody should probably have this on their weapons, it would probably be yours, because then you can use it at a range.
He's not the only ranged weapon, but
Yeah,
I
he
agree.
is your expert.
I've got a significant amount of poison that I just picked up, so I'm good. But
Okay.
if
Well,
somebody
then I'll
else,
Alternatively, yeah, I just don't think it would fit well with Malingar, and frankly,
No.
I'm not going to use
no,
it.
but sorry, it was Torben.
Aye.
You seem to indicate that you know how to use a ranged weapon as well.
I do.
All right, perfect.
Trained in poisons?
Aye.
Ah. Alas.
There we go.
There we go.
I
get a
am
gift
very up close and personal.
We get a gift from a dwarf, and the dwarf can go ahead and use that gift.
I'm also gifted it up close and personal, but I do have range abilities as well.
That'll give us two of us then that have some poisons. Mine probably aren't nearly as strong, but
I am just a meat shield.
I might
Yeah.
have a kit on me that sometimes has some nasty little surprises for my opposition.
As you pass from the hustle and bustle of the market, you will be taken by the Petron down a corridor and winding stairs and into various rooms that proceed further and further into the mountain. And you will find yourself at the top of a stairwell.
Able to see.
Yes, able to see. Are you able to see?
Unable to see.
Unable to see. Dang it. Okay. So clearly it doesn't have vision. There we go. Now you can see. Let me fix that for your token forever and ever. Because that
might be important.
Yes, it might come up later. Who knows? Might come up later. Yeah, so basically they're starting moving down the stairwell. It's still very nicely crafted walls, stairs, your feet echoing down the hall as you march, clearly illuminated, with corridors going this way and that, and maybe a dwarf passing you by. Though it's quite a bit more somber now. Like the Petron is quiet and serious. So is Princess Arvia and Lupenda's firm. Torben, did we establish if you are from Stonegarden?
In the area.
In the area. You will recognize the writings on the walls, the symbology on the walls. You are headed towards the catacombs of the most dignified members of the Dwarven society. They are giving you access to some of the most sacred spaces. And as we do this, I would like to have a scouting check from the best scout in the group, which no longer is Celestial Passage. Who was the best scout in the group?
I now only have a pool of 3.
I've got 6.
Is Soren the best now? I think so.
Yep.
Wait, maybe it's Galame or Nindia. Let us not forget our NPCs.
Yes.
I will say that it is, in fact, Galame. Because Galame has 7. Galame stops as you descend the stairs. Like Lupendus and Arvia are ahead with the Petron, but Galame is looking towards the corridor down on the south. Voices. There's someone calling for us, says Galame. Very hushed voice, though.
Like that of a child?
No. It's... Someone is talking. And... They're saying, come here. Can't you hear it? Gallum is walking over there a little bit.
Galame.
Can't see anyone, though.
I would not stray too far from the path.
Someone is asking for help over there.
Oh. But is it a lure or is it an actual need?
I don't know.
GM, I'm going to cast Sense Magic.
You do that. That seems sensible.
My gosh, that's how it's going tonight.
Really?
That's how it's going
Save
tonight.
cast. I save casted that and everything. Save cast 1.
Yep.
Alright. So you basically see Braynar look really intently, and let me
And?
go to text, core games, mishap, magic mishaps, and oh, probably. Oh, that's even better.
Okay, your reputation increases one step. The patron bear will. Oh, the great Brenner is casting a spell. And now Brenner has a reputation of what, 9?
9.
God damn it, guys! Every time I walk
his
into the
mighty
room,
magic detection.
And he detects no magic at all around here.
It's definitely not magical, whatever you're hearing, Galame, as I just attempted to pull from the ethers.
I can sneak in there and have a look.
Look over at Lupender, or Lupendus rather, and say, is this the path that we need to be taking, or are we deviating at this point?
We are deviating, yes. Galame
Soren?
sneaks down the hallway.
Yeah.
What do you think? Oh,
Can't
he's
hurt.
gone? Okay, yeah. 10.
Yeah, he's walking away.
Okay. Yeah.
Bloody fool.
Yeah, Lupendus is muttering under his breath. Ninja is like, why are you doing this, Galame? There is someone right behind this door. Wall. Behind this wall. No, okay. Let us out. You hear. Now that you're close enough. Let us out. It's a dwarven voice. Come on now.
What are you doing in the wall?
We came from outside. Let us out now.
Outside the wall?
No, outside Stonegarden. Just let us out, please.
Why are you trying to get
Don't
into
you know who I
Stonegarden
am?
through the walls?
Don't you know who I am?
No, you're the dwarf
obviously
in the
not.
wall.
Do I care who you are?
I am Prince Trondeval, who unfortunately does not have more reputation than other people here, and therefore does not get a bonus on the manipulation roll that he so badly counted on.
Oh, you're just here to try and cause trouble, I see.
If I break the wall and let them out, could we probably kill them afterwards?
Who is
If we need
better at
to.
insight here? Because I actually rolled fairly well on that manipulation.
Oh, that
I've
is
got
decent.
a 6 for insight.
Yeah, go
Better,
ahead and roll yours.
better than my 2.
And Torben's...
Ah,
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. So I think Torben, being, a dwarf and knowing that this is a prince, might be taking a step towards the
I mean,
wall to figure
he
out
has,
the
he,
mechanism.
has, he has as many successes as I have dice, right? So
Exactly. But Brennar will be there to stop you, clearly. If you want to, Brennar.
So,
I'm going to put you
Hold
there
on.
in case you're stopping him.
yep.
Torben would be over
This-
there, and Brennar would be over there. Yeah.
This does not feel right, Torben.
oh yeah.
No, I mean, at this point it'll go to a whisper. This is not your prince.
Well,
What do you say?
if it's not, we need to pull him through the wall and execute him for impersonating the prince.
What? No! You... No. I am the prince. I am Trondeval. You just have to... There's a mechanism on the inside. You just have to... You suddenly hear a snarl from the other side. If you don't open this door now, I'm killing this little princeling of yours. That's an orcish
Oh,
voice.
can I please kill something now?
Was he the one I was looking for anyway?
Yep.
Well, let's hit that switch so we can kill that fucking orc. Why don't you come and dance, green skin? I've got an axe with your name on it. It says dead.
Does this mean that we are in fact opening the door to murder?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's add everyone to the initiative counter, shall we? Because clearly this will get wet with blood. We know that feeling, don't we?
Told you I got an axe with his name on it. In this case, it's a broadsword, but still.
Yep. There we go. So what initiatives have we rolled here? Soren has a 3. Frida has a 3. Torben has a 1. And what does Brenner have? 3 as well. And that's just everyone else then.
I was gonna say, unless the bad guys get a 2, they're dead before the door. They get out the door.
Pretty much. Oh, that's not supposed to be free. Anyway, 4, 4, 8. Okay. 4, 4, 8. All right. So, yeah, I guess we're back to this kind of stuff again. Yes. So, yeah, Torben, you will open the door, I guess, because you want to kill someone.
Hey.
And doing so shows you exactly that, yes, there is, in fact, a young dwarven princeling. However, there is a big, burly orc standing right behind him. Studded leather, open helmet, a two-handed sword that he's holding across Trondeval's throat. You give way now, or I'll kill this little princeling.
You clearly do not know who you're fucking talking to.
What do you do, Torben? You've used one fast action here by opening the mechanism.
I mean, I'd love to just shiv him with a knife, but I think I have to reach through a space.
That might be the problem. Yes. You can hold your action, I suppose, until.
Yeah, I'll hold. Yeah.
The orc is up and will push and shove against Frida. So I guess we will do a card combat here.
Oh, I hope he succeeds at the push.
We'll see what happens. I will do. I already told you what I was gonna do. That was silly of me. But anyway, there we go. That's what I'm doing. All right, so yeah, I'm shoving with this big orc with enormous tusks is shoving against you, Frida. So you do have a shield, don't you? So you can parry with that shield.
Oh, that's the
Basically-
wrong thing. There we go.
Basically, he's trying to use his shoulder for this. So, not his sword. I guess Alarig is now on the ground,
And I break
Lying
his
down.
shoulder with my shield.
and you just push up the shield against him, and he gets nowhere. He is this guy is strong. There is no doubt about this. is an orc. Orcs are usually strong. It's no weakling you're fighting. And this is very frustrating for him, so he will now attack you with his two-handed sword. And since you are doing a hinder now instead of a defend, he might succeed. Who knows? You do not get to parry it. Okay. There we go. But I roll amazingly, don't I? The sword cleaves air and nothing else. That is...
I'm probably too low because I'm down with the shield to keep him from pushing me.
You just can't get a good purchase as you're basically in the clinch, right? You are in the grip there. And that is all he does. Now you can do your action of shoving with your shield, or disarming him if you want to do that.
How do I go about disarming him?
You roll a one-handed weapon, requires 1 success to disarm, a two-handed requires 2, so basically you just roll your attack with your longsword.
Would I be able to use my action that was saved to pull the prince out of the way?
I'll allow that, yes.
Okay.
What? Holy smokes.
I mean, he's dead anyway, but...
Holy
If he wasn't an orc, I should say he'd be dead right away
6
anyway.
points of this is a disarm action, right? It's not actually damaging.
Yeah,
so,
she removed his arm.
No. No, the further successes don't count. It's just... You just bring up... What does it look like when you bring up Maligarn and get his two-handed sword out of his grip?
Preferably Frida would rather just cut his hands off, but the prince is in the way, so she just kind of like brings the sword up underneath and like bounces it out of his hand.
Yeah, gripping by possibly the crossbar and just using leverage to make him let go, which is...
And I'll look at my other party members.
Really
Can you
humiliating.
get this thing out of my way, please?
As I'm pulling the prince clear.
Roll your might to pull him clear.
Well, as you wish. It matters.
It matters.
Plus, I need willpower.
Plus, you need willpower. Where am I with things here? Okay, there we go. So I'm just gonna move that one there, and he's back there. And there's a whole bunch of orcs behind him, Frida. You hear the...
They're stop gated. This is just
they
like
are stop gated, yes.
Oh,
I'm
sucks
fine with
to be
that.
them.
You have done
kill
your
one,
actions as
move
well.
on to the next. Kill
Brenner.
one, move on to the next.
Tickle dwarf and ingenuity.
Indeed. Brenner, you're up.
Speaking of ingenuity, stupid question. That little button that was on the side that unlatched the bloody thing,
Yep.
where was it? Is it on my Galame's side or Torben's side?
It's on Torben's side.
It's by where the prince currently standing.
Yeah, you can get
Okay.
there with a single move, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to do the really simple thing, and these were a bunch of captured orcs prior, so I'm going to go over to the mechanism and press the button and close the door.
Very simple, straightforward, easy to understand.
We got what we wanted.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bonk.
And actually, as I press the button, I'll go, bye!
This is like the shortest fight ever. As like,
I wanted to kill those.
Sorry, Mel.
Ah, you're not the only one, but
so on your side of the door, there
guess
is
we'll save
now
them for
a
next time.
two-handed sword. And you hear a lot of screaming from inside with very, very angry and frustrated orcs who didn't get anywhere. And yeah, that's it. You foiled their horrifying scheme. Well, says Galame and just kind of smiles at you guys.
So is this a real prince? Do we need to send him back?
Yeah, Trondeval is kind of lying there and oops.
well, you're good now. It's good thing we were watching for you.
I thank you kindly for saving me, he says, and sits up. I am in your debt, clearly. Let's not talk about this to anyone, shall we?
Well, since we have to head back towards the stairs, you can be sent on your way to the service
Yes.
to your family.
Yes, my family. Let's.
Let your sister know that we send our regards.
Payment will be
Yes.
captured upon our return.
Yes, of course. He just runs away now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's done. He's not gonna stay here. Nope. Thank you very much. I'm out.
That was the easiest gold I've ever earned, guys.
Frida
Out of
leans into
character, that's
Torben.
the easiest gold I've ever earned.
Frida leans into Torben. I don't mean this to sound offensive, but are all your nobles just idiots? Like, is that a thing?
I don't mean to sound offensive, but aren't most nobles everywhere just idiots?
Yes.
True. This is true. That's a fair point.
Interesting.
Sometimes we've got great leaders, but that happens to every group.
Brennar, interesting detail on the two-handed sword.
Oh no.
It has a snake engraved on it.
Oh.
Is it also a magical weapon?
Oh no.
The Aesir
the-
clan symbol.
Easier. What does that recognize? That's the ones that are. Okay, Josh doesn't remember this, but Brainer probably would.
Eldag, the Ravager, the man
Yeah.
who you fought side by side with against the Orc chieftain that you fought side by side with against the hordes of the Rust brothers.
So
We have to
why
go
is-
back and talk to the orc.
No, but
No.
why the hell are they down here?
Eldeg's people would have a reason to be here because Eldeg has had them fighting the
You
Rust
can
brothers.
hear them still hammering on the wall, but the futility is obvious. And whoever that orc leader was inside there, I mean, he's been thoroughly humiliated by Frida. There's a lot of shouting and growling and something inside that corridor.
Do we need to go talk to them?
Why?
Because they're part of Eldeg. I want to know why
You're
they're
not going to
killing
talk
the
with
dwarves.
them.
Arvia
They're-
will look at all of you and just hold on here a moment, and she walks away.
Just because we fought beside Eldeg doesn't mean that he's a good guy or we're on his side.
If anything, it's probably we're starting to remember that whole.
Didn't you
asshole
mention-
back at the other orc encampment?
Yeah, didn't you mention fighting some orcs before making it to Stonegarden?
Not same crew, but
But
most
it
orcs
could be
are
similar.
trusty orcs, including the one at the heart of the rose. But that's my opinion.
People are going to fight amongst themselves. There's no need for us to get involved in it.
Exactly.
He could disagree with Eldeg's direction and decided he wanted to get glory for himself so he could rise up and take over the clan.
Glory for the horde.
Obviously,
Anyways,
he's not one of Eldeg's better warriors anyway. But
Lupendus, which way do we go?
Yeah, exactly. And Lupendus will show you.
Which way did Arya go? That's the more curious question that I've got.
Yeah, she will be returning from above in a
It's probably
while.
went to let people know that there's orcs behind this wall.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll be coming down there, and there's a bunch of dwarf guards coming with her, like a dozen or so, possibly more. And she will point them the right direction, basically.
Yeah.
Lupendus will proceed towards the corridor to the north. I'm sorry about that, says Galami. I had no way of knowing.
Oh, it's all right in the end, I suppose.
Look, you got a brand new two-handed sword out of it. I passed two-handed serpentine sword over to Galame.
Why, thank you.
The sword will break that poor elf's back. Look at him, he's all skin and bones like most elves are.
It might at that, he says.
Is he
Ninja, do you
overburdened?
want
He carries
it? No, she says. I'm already too heavily loaded with things. Torben, do you want a two-handed sword?
Well, I'll need some time to learn how to rearrange my pack, but I could use it, but
Mhm.
at least it won't stop me from moving.
He said Frida will just pick it up with one hand and put it on her back. Nobody else wants to carry it.
I will give you a two-handed sword, because you have one now.
Not that she'd probably use it very much.
She's just carrying it till I can spend my XP for pack rat anyway.
Exactly. There you go.
It's Malagarn, you know how Malagarn gets when there's another sword on Frida.
She's a jealous bitch.
You sheath Malagarn and you just hear growling from the sheath towards your back.
Hey,
She's-
be nice.
I was here first.
Awful.
You are coming into the sacred place. And here, the Petron will... he's been standing here impatiently waiting for all you guys. And here, in fact, you will see that he's standing next to two very old dwarves. Their skin is like white as chalk, basically. You can't put proper age to them. They could be 80, they could be 100 in human years. In dwarven years, who knows? Torben has never seen any dwarf this old before.
Oh, quite the elder. It's honor.
Oh yeah, these fellows are very old indeed. So a typical old dwarf is around 100 or so maybe. So younger than a half elf, but older than a human. These guys, who knows how old they could be. The Petron bows to them. They have been waiting for you. He says, let me introduce Rangmar and Arvi, the Dwellers. They bow and snicker a little bit, but they try to express some kind of courtesy towards you guys.
I will return courtesy given and expressed.
One is
General bow.
Rangmar is dressed in a white robe, and Arvi is clad in a furs.
I distinctly don't bow.
What kind of monsters are we looking at? We were told you would know more.
Well, right now, old dwarves.
They do not speak up here. I do not know if they still can speak, says the Petrel.
Can you speak? Just nod your head, it's fine.
They nod.
Okay. This is great. Awesome.
Where's
It's the air up here.
They nod about that too.
Makes sense, I guess. Alright, let's get going. I need to kill something. I've just been denied my kill.
Mm-hmm. As the Petron opens the doors behind them, which lead into a corridor stairwell that disappears into the dark, they smile a bit, and Lupendus takes a firm grip on the sled that he is carrying. And so they start the descent into the dark. The Petron bows for all of you. And as Torben steps over the threshold, because I am assuming that you will.
At some point, yeah.
Oh, you are not there yet? Okay.
Yeah, I'm way back here, apparently.
I've noticed. when you do that, the patron will say your sacrifice will be remembered.
Aye, it will. By me amongst others.
So starts a journey. The likes that, well, who knows if this group will return from the depths.
We always return. We're stubborn like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are even guards flanking the doors, presenting, they stand up at attention and give you full honors of nobles as you start marching your march down. And first it's easy enough, I suppose. It's a long flight of stairs. There's enough light still in various torch holders someone must have lit. The two elders are still quiet, say nothing. Come down to some kind of chamber. There's corridors going out on various sides here, but they will choose a stairwell and just wave for the rest of you to come with. Arvia is going to help Lupendus with the slave. And you continue down. And as you do, the Dweller will look at each other a little bit. Look at all of you again. Nod to themselves. They're still not saying anything.
Yeah, I was getting Tweedledee Tweedledum vibes.
Yeah, the air's too thin up here.
I'm just trying to remember, is the first left that we took from the stairs? Right, Soren?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
In case we need to make a back steps ourselves.
Yeah. I'll keep like a mental note.
The silence is complete down here. It's as if the mountain itself is observing your intrusion. The air has lain undisturbed. How long? Millennia?
If this place had trees and stuff, it would be great.
The dwellers are looking up towards the human and just kind of shaking their heads.
I'm assuming as we're talking, basically, it's echoing. Because, like you
Yep.
said, the silence is deafening.
Yep.
Try not to talk too loud down here.
It's like the air itself really doesn't want you to draw the air into your throats.
Frida starts a low, rumbly growl that sounds more like a purr. It's not really a threatening thing, just more of a it's too silent for her. It's making her uncomfortable.
Mm. There is a lot of dust on the stairs as you go down, though you can see the traces of the tracks that these two dwellers have left behind. As you finally get down all the stairs, it's a long way down. Who knows how long this has taken? I'm going to advance the clock.
The clock knows how long it's taken.
Yes. There is an ancient bronze lift that you get to. It's on the shelf next to it is a stone tub with boulders. They're about the size of a head. And
Is it lit or do we have torches?
this is a good place for you to start your oil lamps.
Okay. Rainer pulls his out, starts.
And one of the dwellers go up to the boulders and just picks it up and puts it into a hole in the wall, and you hear as the boulder just rolls in some kind of crack in the wall. Then they kind of snicker to each other.
The things you do for amusement.
Yep. And then they go into the lift and ask the rest of you to come with.
I'll get in the lift. I'm not afraid of no lift.
Yep.
Sure.
And as you do, they start cranking a big wheel hanging on, sitting on the wall of this lift contraption, and slowly but surely you start descending even further into the mountain. The air gets thicker and thicker as you go. It's almost harder and harder to breathe down here. You'll get used to it in a while, I suppose.
I'm gonna take a piece of fabric wrapped around my nose and slightly moisten it just so I can get that the moisture difference that also makes a difference here.
Oh, it certainly does. It certainly does that. And finally, the lift is starting to slow down a bit. Ah, you hear the two dwellers. Ah, finally back down again. The air upstairs is terrible. Absolutely terrible, isn't it, Arby? Oh, yes, absolutely it is. Surface air. Can hardly breathe it. I don't know how you surface dwellers can put up with that air up there. Yes, indeed. It's terrible.
Well, when it's the only air they've ever known.
So, beasts. What can we expect?
A very inconvenient thing, yes. Most inconvenient, isn't it, Arby? Yes, it is very inconvenient, yes. We need to repair the chains, or it would be bad for the world, yes. At least bad for our world. Don't know much about the upside. What is the upside like nowadays? Do we know what the upside is like, Rangmar? No, we don't know what the upside is like, Arby. What is the upside like, surface dwellers? What is happening
beautiful.
Upside?
It,
What news?
it's a shithole full of
Humans.
shitty people, but it has trees, so it's better than here.
It's a shithole full of shit. Wait, has the upside world, says Rangmar, turned into a great latrine?
Yes.
He's speaking metaphorically.
That sounds a bit alarming. How did it turn into a great latrine?
People were allowed to breed.
Humans specifically, and I look at Soren.
Would you two stop?
No, it's true. My people ruined the world.
That aside from the point, it's not literally a latrine, although it is a pretty bad place.
If anything, it's very beautiful up there. But I'm sure, just like down here, you see beauty in whatever you'd like to see. But yes, there is demons and death and destruction and latrine people on the surface.
And more.
How much beauty compared to latrines? Says Rangmar.
Depends where you are. The less people, the more beautiful it is.
It sounds most dire. It sounds like someone needs to deal with the upside world, doesn't it, Arvi? Yes, indeed. Maybe someone should deal with the upside world. Yes, maybe.
Well, that's what we're trying to do. But I need to know more about this monster. We need to re-chain, I guess.
Oh,
Can I just kill it?
Can she kill the monster, the beast? What do we think
Frida's
of that,
not
Ragmar?
laughing. Frida's not laughing at all.
Ragmar's. She's funny. Surface dwellers. Can she kill the beast?
I've killed demons.
She's killed the. It's funny.
So what is the name of this chained monstrosity?
Oh, we just call it the beast. Yes, don't we, Ragmar? Yeah, yes, Arvi, we call it the beast.
So, it's a beast
Yes.
that has its chains broken, or is breaking, and we have to fix said chains to keep it down here so it doesn't further destroy your world or come to the upper echelons.
Yes, that would be the case. Yes.
If it did happen to die, would there be any metaphysical ramifications?
Maybe what?
Magic ramifications.
Do you need it to live down here?
No. Well, maybe some.
It's a complicated scenario.
Will its existence throw the mines into your territory into peril? Should it be extinguished?
You know, this is a very good question, says Ragmar. There are some, aren't there, Arvi, that says that we should simply release the beast, yes.
So you have some of your kind.
Those that wish for ruin.
Just like in the upper world. Some that wish for ruin and some that wish for clear skies and foresty trees.
I mean, we're simply doing the surface world a service, keeping it down here. It isn't ours.
Whose is it?
I don't rightly know if it belongs to anyone anymore. It's been an awfully long time, you know. Our
Who
Who did it
descendants...
used to
Who did
belong
it belong to?
Not sure.
Sigifer?
Who's Sigifer?
Okay, that's all I needed to know.
I'm not sure who you mean.
Have you had blood mist down here?
What?
Okay. So,
You're always shocked when you get that answer.
So for years, the uppers have been plagued by sorcerers. Not myself, of course, but other sorcerers. And as part of that, there's been many, many years of this blood mist where it's caused much turmoil on the surface, but I'm glad that it has not reached the Underdark here.
Clearly a surface problem. Is it
Turns
still
out
there?
We
to
have been
surface.
tiny demons.
Is it still there?
No,
Is it the manure?
it was the manure.
It was the manure is gone now.
The manure is still there, but we're fighting to clean it up, so I guess you could call us, custodians.
Sanitation workers.
There we go.
Here we
Thank
are
you, sorry.
mucking out the world's stables.
Brennar, why don't you roll an insight check? You are the insight master now that Celestial is gone.
Dang it.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. I will send you another little message. There we go.
So, let's continue through.
Yes. Do come with us. Oops, sorry. I pushed the wrong button there. What did I just do? An explosion? That's not what I wanted to do.
Or is it?
Do come with us.
Exactly. Yep. They will start marching through the hallways here. Now I have a lot of NPCs to move. For me.
Brenner will hold back.
Tokens that were made before the update to the token.
Yes. Oh, right. Should I change Frida's token, or do you want... maybe it doesn't matter.
Oh.
You
I mean, I
don't
can't
care.
see.
Oh, right. You can't see again. I have not done the right thing. There, now you can see.
I can see again.
Yes. Yes,
As-
yes.
As Soren starts to move, basically, Brenner kind of holds him back for a moment.
Yeah.
Arvia seems interested in our discussion a moment ago. I'd be weary.
I mean, I said I don't trust anybody anyway.
Mm.
But, yeah, just in case. I mean, nobody survives in an environment like this without going a little bit, around the bend.
Agreed.
Yes, our descendants nowadays, says Arvi, they're quite weak, really, quite weak. Look at this craftsmanship. You can see immense pillars of some kind of dull metallic material. They don't run perpendicular, they branch out, they're slanted and led like beams across the ceiling, almost like a rib cage, and have glowing blue veins giving off a guiding light. There are large faces molded into the metal. Yes, the mountain down here was frail, you see. At this now we're at the shallow level, and down here it was quite frail, you understand. But the workmanship is quite shoddy. Our descendants don't know how to work stone properly anymore. It's quite a shame, really. Oh,
So-
well, they have forgotten the arts, haven't they? Ragnar, yes, they have forgotten the arts completely, Arvi.
This is so. Rather than just letting it collapse, your idea is to just shore it up with a little bit of metal.
Yeah, well, you'd have to ask our descendants. They are not very competent with these things anymore.
Oh,
but I
so
agree with you. They're very sloppy.
So the incompetent people built this death trap that we're standing in.
Yes. This is the shallow level.
Yeah, they couldn't be bothered to fix it up themselves, after all.
Brenner is just taking a quick look at the structural integrity of this, and should, for all intents and purposes, if the top kind of gets broken a little bit, this is coming down like a nice little canary mine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So what is your escape plan should this collapse?
Escape plan? Oh, we'll just move between the stones, move between the rocks. No problem at all. No problem at all.
They don't need to go to the surface. Sorry. If anything, they'd probably just stay where they're at, from the sense of things.
Yeah, Nindia and Gallagher are looking at each other going like, eh.
We are not paid enough for this.
Nope.
You want more payments? Want more payments? Says Arvi.
Rewards for activities.
I'm sure we can find a nugget or two down here.
Oh, I hope so.
I hope so, yes. You hope so. Hope so.
Well, I hardly doubt you'd be down here if everything ran dry.
Exactly what my point is, yes.
Oh, to that point, how do you exchange items and currency down here as you don't go, I guess...
Exchange items and currency? I do not... What is that?
If I would like
How
to
do
buy
you-
a ware from you, or an item from you, Do you craft your own? Do you barter? Do you trade in goods and services?
What do you do with the shit
Soren!
you find down here?
As you were, did you have a torch or something? No?
I did.
Yeah. You hear in the dark ahead of you a sudden. There are eyes in the dark. Let's get ourselves some initiative, shall we?
No.
No? I'm adding everyone to the tracks. And I'll need to reset the thing. Too many PCs and NPCs. If I kill off some NPCs, it's gonna be easier, right? I mean, that's, you know, we have the initiative table, which, okay, you got some rolls done there. 2 for Torben. Torben is the fastest of anyone ever. Did we add Frida yet? No, we didn't. Frida has been added. Pick your card. Oh, you have picked your card. An 8. And then just, I will reset the table because there is too many ringing there. So, and roll. And roll 2d10. There we go. A 3 and a 5. She actually gets to roll once more because she has lightning fast as well. Okay, she'll go with a 5 then. Yeah, Rangmar will immediately go the other way. He has a battle axe and he has it readied, but he's not keen on getting any closer to this. Torben, what do you want to do?
Well, I'm going to move over with my bloody crossbow.
Yep.
And I think I see something I can shoot at.
You do indeed.
And you draw your lines.
Yep. Like each line is where his zone is, so the room is a zone, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's a hit. That's a lot of damage. Ouch. Ow. It cries out in pain. That's your slow action? What do you want to do with your fast?
I'll switch to my broadsword.
Very well. Arvia, she will in fact, she's a brave warrior, no doubt about that. And she will get herself up there. And from there, she will not do much, but she's ready with her large shield and battle axe. So that's her fast action. Lupendus is letting go of the sled and moving up to Soren's side, I guess, for now. Soren, what do you want to do?
Well, I'll drop the torch and then we'll shoot the thing.
Indeed. Shoot the thing. I can put down like a small light source where you drop the torch.
Well, if it helps, if it helps any too, I've also got my oil lamp out.
Yep. That's a hit. You hurt it. Now there's sticks coming out of the blubber of this big thing.
It wasn't an action to drop the torch, was it?
Not really, no.
Okay, then I will shoot it again.
Okay. So you've used one fast action or not?
Yeah, I shoot on a fast action.
Yep. So you're shooting it again. Ow. Well, this time the armor helps indeed.
I'll spend a willpower to ignore its armor.
Blah, in my ear. Roar! It cries out. Are you gonna shoot again?
No, I'm running low on willpower, so that's me.
All right, Brennar.
I'm going to go in front of Torben and Soren. And I'm going to... one sec. I gotta check near... Haha, near range. Cool. And I'm going to... that blob over in the corner is going to get lit as I basically take the oil lamp and start to channel my energies towards the blob.
Oh.
Yeah, it's going to emulate.
I bet.
Well, I'm hoping I'm going to emulate, not... Or I'm hoping it's going to emulate, not me.
Not me, yeah, exactly.
Or your nearby allies.
That was not a mishap. So, yeah, you do 2 points of damage to it, don't you?
Yep, ignores armor, and it has to make a move check to not be on fire at the beginning of its turn.
There's hissing coming up from the blubber of this Hulk. And that's your slow action as well, isn't it? So you're done. Nindia. I mean, she's here, but she's gonna be running over here somewhere with her 2 weapons. But she's not entirely on this whole idea of fighting in the first ranks or whatever. She's kind of, you know, oh, she says, and she looks down a hallway. As this thing will take that step in towards Arvia and attack Arvia. So, yeah, that's 2 points of damage possibly on Arvia with that enormous arm. But she does have armor. 1 point of... Oh no, that's a lot of destroying her armor, isn't it? 3 points, 3 once. The trollish claw rips right through her chainmail. And she will take 1 point of damage. But you will hear steps from the way Nindia looked. And before you know it, out comes another one of these hulking beasts. It runs all the way next to Nindia with 2 moves, and there it stops because it cannot get any further. However, Nindia will take a point of damage to her agility because this thing stinks. And so does Arvia. Frida, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna use my charge to get to the one next to Nindia and swing.
Which is a slow... Isn't that a slow action for you, though? But you... Yes, but you do have the
But
melee
because I have charge.
So, yeah, exactly. So chop.
All those workarounds.
Yes. Well, what you gonna do, right? Now you will take a point of damage to your agility as well, because this stinks! The stench is horrible. Do you have anything to do with your fast action? That's gonna be parries, maybe? Something like that?
Just looking at my Dragon Slayer to see if it helps with anything.
It does help with something. It is a bonus against monsters, and this is a monster. So your talent, Dragon Slayer, gives you a +1, so you get another die on that attack.
Oh, I will just roll the d6.
Yes. Alas, not this time. But yeah, you will when you attack the troll next time, just add that extra die.
Yeah.
And
Other than that, I don't think I have anything that lets me get out of the point to my agility, so.
Arby is also hanging back for now, because it's scary with these things. Galame is definitely not going to hang back, because Ninja is in trouble, so rushes into the next zone and... I mean, something like that, maybe? And shoots. And strangely enough, will shoot on the troll that is attacking his longtime friend. Or is she more than a friend? Who knows? That's a hit. Let's see now. We have path of the arrow. I can ignore the armor, so I'll do that.
Now that they no longer have Celestial.
Right? So that's 2 points of damage. That sticks out there. Galame is also a fast shooter. So, shoot and run. I just did that, so that's a fast action, which means that I can shoot again with my slow action. I'll do that. But first, of course, I will roll for arrows. There we go. And another shot with the bow. Another hit. Not a very impressive hit. Should I ignore the armor, you guys? Should Galame use another willpower point? Okay, I'll do it. It's just a single point, but, you know, everything counts, right?
Every little bit counts.
Every little bit counts. It adds up. And so I will see if... Yep, the arrows are fine. That is Galame. And you hear roaring and growling from both side corridors. This ain't over yet, my friends. No, wait. That one. There. Double clicking things is not good. Alright, Rangmar, I mean, why should he be more cowardly than anyone else? Since everybody else is moving ahead, he'll do it as well with the axe at the ready. That's a fast action. Torben!
Not a fan of getting agility damage, but have to take out these trolls, and crossbow takes a bit to reload right now for me.
Yep. The smell as you come close to them. Oh, those huge yellow tusks and fangs. It wants to rip your flesh from your bones. And it's... Ow! It says. It's not dead yet, though. That is your actions. Arvia, putting up that fight against the horrible stinky thing. And this time she gets to actually attack it with her axe. And she has, like, all the paths. Oh, right. I forgot that one. Never mind. Yep, okay. She will start chopping away. Thump! A good solid hit. She's done some serious damage on that thing, and that is her slow action.
Does she have Axe Fighter too?
Yeah, she does not.
She doesn't?
Nope.
I love the level 2 melee attacks.
Mm-hmm. Yes, all the critical injuries all the time. All right, Lupendus with his Warhammer comes charging out as well. He's going to help Arvia, apparently. And that's as far as he gets. He takes a damage to his agility, and that's it. Ah! He has a shield and a Warhammer, and he's just charging in there. In it comes. It's gonna be going that way, I guess. But it has used both its moves. Soren.
Let's see. We need to drop one of these trolls.
That could be an idea.
This one over here with Frida. I will shoot it.
You're not really scoring the great hits this time,
Nope.
but you are scoring hits.
I will shoot it again.
That's what we're there. That's the Soren we remember.
Okay, I'll spend willpower to ignore the armor on that one.
It's probably stuck somewhere close to the clavicle. That one hurt.
Spend a willpower to fire a third time.
You don't have a pride now, do you?
I don't.
You're
Spend my last willpower to ignore the armor on that one too.
It sits very close to the heart, but not quite in the heart. The troll is stumbling, but not dead yet.
That's me.
What was that?
That's it for me.
Yep, Brennar.
All right. GM question for you.
Yes.
Emulate says that unless they put the fire out, they take continuing getting 1 point of damage per round.
They take another point of damage. Of course, this is also a troll.
I don't know if they have. Yeah. All right.
It's burning, but you can see how the flesh sort of
Heals.
heals itself up along those scorch marks.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. So Braynar is going to look at next stupid question. Living humanoid. These are considered monsters, not living humanoids, correct?
They are monsters, yes.
Okay. All right. Darn. Okay. So I'm going to look at the one that just came into the room and basically attempt to emulate.
Ah, yes. That is 2 points of damage to it. The skin blackens and blisters. There is smoke coming up from the few tufts of hair on its head.
And I gently drop the lamp oil, or the oil lamp, to the ground and draw my sword as my fast.
Indeed. Nindia is out here. She has taken 2 points of agility damage for being close to that troll. Ugh. She retches, but she will now be able to attack. And of course, we know that she is fast with things like attacking. So she will go in there with that scimitar. That's the kind of stuff, right? It will take 3... Yeah. She, seeing that troll stumble backwards from all those arrows. She sees that gap and just goes for it. The scimitar goes up under the chin, into the mouth, right off the top of its head. It falls over, dead. That was her slow action. With her fast action, she will in fact move over there so she can be ready to face the next one. Lupendus is possibly in the way. We'll see what happens here when this troll's in pain, perhaps, but not down yet. Ooh! Oh. Okay.
Wow.
Beat an MFer with another MFer.
Yes. It's gonna take
Hulk smash.
Arvia, actually.
Arvia.
Smashes her into Lupendus. And so she takes 2 points. And yeah, that's 2 points exactly. And yeah, both of them take 2 points of damage, basically. So her armor will protect, maybe. It will not. Ugh! She gets the wind knocked out of her and will be prone. And Lupendus will take 2 points of damage, possibly, unless the armor helps. He has chainmail and closed helmet as well. And, Jesus Christ, my armor rolls, right? My armor rolls. That armor is just shredded, probably by Arvia's axe, as she crashes into him and falls prone on the ground. Ugh! Says the troll. It's satisfied with that. Frida, you're up.
Well, if this one's dead, I will charge over to the next one, I guess.
Yeah.
And swing batter.
Swing better.
Oh, really? I'm gonna push that. There's no skulls.
Ugh.
Ow!
You add your +1.
No, I didn't have my +1.
Add your +1. And roll it again, because you pushed it.
Oh, stop doing the thing. What?
You get to roll it again. There you go. Okay.
There we go.
So it didn't help, unfortunately, but you did get, 2 points of damage on it.
Do I get 3 willpower out of that?
You
is it
get
just the
one
one?
willpower because the others were to Malgar,
Oh.
which is bad. Are you ignoring the armor? It only has the one.
Oh.
What was that?
Does it have armor?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
thick blubbery hide.
Okay. Yeah, I'll use the 1 willpower I just got to ignore the armor.
Very good. It takes 2 points of damage. Ugh. And you will take 1 point of agility damage because this stinks. That was your slow action. And
I'm gonna pass out from the goddamn smell.
Not yet. You've taken 2 points of agility damage. You have more agility left. Okay, RV. All right, we're gonna do this apparently. He needs to take 1 more step to get there. He's not gonna do it this turn. He doesn't want to get too close to the stink. Galame will bravely run away from the troll that is way too close for comfort. Somewhere up there, maybe? And then, while running, will loose an arrow on said troll. Actually, the one that is facing Frida. That's a good hit.
She hit it right in the wound Frida just left on it.
Pretty much. The troll felt that. And I will shoot another arrow, in fact, because fast enough to do that. That was not quite as impressive.
Every little bit helps.
Every little bit helps, indeed.
Damage on target is still damage on target.
Indeed it is. And that was Galame's turn. Rangmar will... I mean, the dwarves are in trouble, right? So let's try to help them. One move. And then another move. This is not a good idea. No. Okay, I'll stay there. I'll stop there.
It's still all one move. It's in the same zone.
That's
Oh, no.
fair...
Oh, no. Going into melee. Never mind.
Yeah, that's...
Melee.
Yeah.
Torben, your turn.
Oh, but that counts. Yeah, because it doesn't count as a move in the zone, but counts as one going into arm's reach.
Yes, it does. So
So
there you
Rangmar
are.
can move into arm's reach.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So I will...
Similar
in fact,
that I'm about to do.
I will, in fact, chop the thing, then. We'll see how well Rangmar does that. Says Rangmar, and hurts it. Maybe. Yes. And Rangmar, ugh, this smells. Oh, it smells, Torben.
Oh, I know it smells.
Can you ignore the armor?
No. I don't have that level yet
broadsword
in any combat talents.
hitting into the blubber and just trying to cut through it into something that actually, does hurt it.
Hey, at least I still heard it.
There is blood coming out there. And there we go. That was your turn, wasn't it?
Yep.
Arvia will immediately stand up. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I didn't update the battle mat properly. Arvia will immediately stand up and attack. Of course. She grits her teeth in pain and chops away, and that's a pretty good strike. And now she takes another point of agility damage because she actually falls over, retching. She is prone again. That was all that she could do with that. Lupendus will stand up as well with his fast action. And attack with that Warhammer. And hits. And let's see what the troll can do about that. Nothing much. He grabs that Warhammer and just connects right with the troll's skull, and you hear a sickening crunch as the bones shatter and the brain is turned into a mess.
Good.
And the thing falls over. But so, unfortunately, does Lupendus, because he's now also on the ground retching.
The wretched combat.
Yes, it is. This troll will attack. It grabs there's the adventurer. Who is that going to be? Who wants to be 1 and who wants to be 2?
I'll beat 1.
Don't really care.
Obi-Wan. Grabs you.
I'm Torben 1.
You're Torben 1. And roll your armor.
What a second. Ugh.
That was good. You do not take any beating at all. That soaks up all the except your armor that loses 1 point. No, it doesn't because you didn't actually take any damage at all, right? So
Yeah.
that's correct.
Thank goodness for that clarification.
Yes. Frida, you are hit as well. So roll your armor too.
You're hit with a dwarf.
Yeah, you're hit with a Torben. The troll grabs Torben by whatever and just smacks you.
You want me to roll my
Apologies.
helm and my plate?
You just
Just
click
hit the armor button.
Armor button above the two,
Oh.
and that summarizes everything for you.
Yeah, it took me a moment. That's to find it again.
That means it's a good thing that you had those five ones now because nothing goes through. I only did 1 point of damage, which means that your armor is in fact fine. That was a close one. Yeah, you are smacked by Torben, and both of you fall over. I'm actually gonna move Torben over to be next to her.
Okay.
Ah, boof, like that. And there you are, lying down.
Given how well they both rolled on their armor and took all the damage, I imagine there's this echoing, clanging sound.
Exactly. Clang.
Huge metal clang. Yeah.
Soren, you're up.
Well, now I have a clear line of sight because 2 people are prone.
Yep.
I have no willpower left, so it stands as it is.
Which one did you shoot? Oh, that one. Okay. That one. No, that one is down. Or you're shooting on the one that's standing up, obviously. Duh. I'm an idiot.
Yes.
Sorry. I confused myself.
Complicating a non-complicated situation for a change.
Yes. Ugh. All the little frustrations for this troll.
This is the longest I've gone to a fight before I started losing arrows.
Congratulations. Are you done with your actions?
Yep, that's both my shots.
Brennar.
All right, Brainer's going to go over to Lupinder and Arvia, and seeing that there's literally been the vocals of "Oh my gosh, they stink," and they're currently on the floor throwing up, I'm going to move them away from the carcass.
Very well. Roll a might check.
So move and might. And if I have to only pick one, I'm moving Lupinder.
Okay. You and Lupender Firm are moving out of the way. Lupendus.
Lupundus, sorry.
Yes, Lupendus. So, who is next, we wonder? That will be, that's your turn. Nindia. Let's see now. She's fine as far as her agility is concerned. She will move in there and do her thing. That's a fast action, so she won't be able to hit with her dagger as well, but she can do some damage. Oh, right. She has a crushed knee. Dang it.
She joined Team Slow.
She joined Team Slow, so moving is a slow action for her. That means that the only thing she can do is the dagger. Okay.
But hey, still gets to stab with that dagger.
Which turned out to be much better. Ugh, she must have hit it somewhere on the inside of the thigh really hard.
She walked over and went, oh, there's that slit that Torben's sword left before he got thrown away.
Yep, and the troll is wobbling now under the impact of that. That was her. Also, she will of course take another. Yeah, I gave her another point of agility. Frida, you are lying down. What are you gonna do about it?
I'm gonna stand up and stab something.
Sounds good to me.
I'm not gonna push that. I want to break Mellinger.
This is a wise choice of action.
Already gonna have to have Brainard take a look at her.
Yeah.
Begrudgingly.
Begrudgingly. Only 1 point of damage, but it's exactly what you needed.
Oh, there's nothing to frenzy on.
Well, no, there isn't. Well, actually, roll an insight check.
Unless I want to kill a bunch of dwarfs.
No. Roll your insight check. Oh, you're fine. You're not frenzying.
Gonna have to kill some of my insight.
Oh, you want to kill more things, right?
Frida always wants to kill more things. Malingar's rubbing off.
Say what a stupid question that was.
I will admit it was not the smartest question I've ever asked.
Frida liked killing more things before Malingarn entered the picture.
Well, the irony is Frida left the original situation she was in because it was too violent.
Yeah.
Frida, you are going to have to be happy because you can hear growling from the side corridor right in front of you, to the right on the screen.
Okay, well, I haven't moved yet, so can I move?
You can. And I'm gonna roll a die. In fact, 3 dice.
How the hell did all these trolls get down here?
It's the shallows.
Yes.
They
Yeah,
wash
you
up.
can move to. Let's see now. I'm gonna have to mark the zone. That's where the next zone ends. So if you want to continue moving, of course it's dark
I've got no
now.
light.
Yeah, you need some light. You can hear growling from in there though.
Does
But
it
wait,
smell
moving
like
is a
the
slow
others?
action for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you actually can't move that far. You can get there, basically. You can get over there. Have you taken another damage to your agility? Yes, you have, because you were still in that area. That's as far as you get. Okay.
Okay.
But you're not close to that troll anymore, so it's not stinky. Arvi will come up next to you, giggle a little, and stand there together with you.
He creeps me out more than the trolls do.
You can see one in the shadows ahead of you, but it doesn't get.
Oh
to
yes,
you
please move closer.
yet.
Save me the work.
Gallum is like, what is going on here? And moves over there and shoots an arrow on that thing. Because that seems to be needed. And that is short range, I believe. Since he's not a sharpshooter yet. It's a hit. That just sits there in that blubber. I'll roll for arrows and I'll shoot again because I can, or he can. That's a better hit. Ugh, says the troll. Not down yet, though. Of course. I mean, you've only just started. Ah, he's running out of arrows too. Time to leave this place of stinkiness. Stinky troll. And, move up to Brennar. Ready to do things when needed. Torben, you're up.
Well, first thing I'll have to do is stand up.
Yes, and that is in fact a fast action.
And then I shall unfortunately take the other part, or my slow action as a fast action for just. Oh, I'm moving in the square area. Never mind. And I'll reload my crossbow.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be a good time for. That takes a slow action, doesn't it?
Yeah. Because I was like, oh wait, I'll reload my crossbow.
Yep. I'll mark you as no longer prone, because clearly not. So that's your actions, basically. Standing up and reloading.
Yeah, shit.
1, 2. Arvia stands not up at all because she's broken by her nausea. Someone has to do a healing check on her. Lupendus Firm stands not up at all because he's broken by nausea. Someone has to do a healing check on him. This troll has been killed and is not standing up at all.
Because no one's going to do a healing check.
Because no one is going to do a healing check on that one. Soren, you're up.
I will move to there. And as I move, I will shoot that troll.
And you roll very well indeed, sir. That is ouchie. Yeah, there was the first one that showed up, the one that Galame. I have it marked as a target in mine.
I can only see the one, so.
Yeah, okay. You're gonna use willpower on that? You don't have any left, maybe?
I have no more power left.
Okay. It takes 4 points of damage. Right in the chest. This
Okay.
arrow sticking out from it now.
I'll fire a second time.
Gee. Ugh. 4 shafts are sticking out of it. Brennar, you're up.
Okay, Brainer is going to pull the same stunt he did with Lupendus the turn previous, but this time with Arvia, and drag
her
her
away.
further to safety.
Yeah, roll the mic check. That works.
I'm assuming that's is that a slow or a full round?
It's a slow action to drag her away, I would say.
Okay.
You still have a fast action left, I'm gonna say as well.
Okay. And he will just adjust himself so he's between them, so next turn he can start healing them.
Very good. Yeah, healing is also a slow action.
Yeah.
Nindia will move over here, I suppose. Why not? Standing at the ready. And it comes.
Oh my gosh.
And it takes that final step in there. Which means that all of them will take a point of agility damage because it stinks! And that's actually what Nindia will... Yeah, she will go down retching. Throws up. Lupendus is already down, of course, so he doesn't get affected by that. Frida, your turn.
I will move up 1 square and charge and swing.
Your slow action chops against this thing, and it will possibly hurt it. A little bit. Ugh. You will take a point of damage to your agility. It's getting low now.
Gonna vomit here in a minute.
Yep. Arby is right next to you, though, and he's going to help out. So in he goes, taking his point of agility and attacking with the battle axe against that big oafy thing. Pushing it. Oh no, he breaks his battle axe. Well, at least he did some damage to the thing before it breaks. Ugh, says the troll. That was his 2 actions. It will attack. It misses completely with that bite. It's trying to bite you, Frida. But it just, I guess it just snaps right above you. Clank with those monster jaws.
It misjudged the height.
Completely.
Frida's actually surprisingly short for a wolfkin.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the fluff.
Yep, now we have the 2 archers here who are doing their archery thing. And Galame will shoot the thing that has attacked Frida so many times. With a -1 because it's in the wrong zone. But it's a hit. And it will take another point. Slowly but surely, you know. Losing arrows here. And then another hit. And that actually hits home pretty solidly. Ugh! It's a pincushion, this troll. It has taken like half a dozen arrows already. They are nothing if not really big and oafy, these things. And we get up to Rangmar, who will attack the troll with his battle axe. And he does have... he's not terrible at it, so that hits. The troll takes some damage. And then Rangmar takes some agility damage because it's so stinky. Torben, you're up.
Quick question. Is poison any use against monsters?
I believe so, unless
Okay.
it says that the
Well, I have the ability to instantly grab and apply. Well, not instantly apply, so I'll do a fax action. Lethal poison, and so it's strength damage. So.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, now I'm looking at poison.
Yeah, page 90.
Yeah. Doesn't say anything that it wouldn't.
Okay. No, I just wanted to get a quick
roll
clarification
endurance.
first time doing it. All right, so the one on the left with Rangmar and all the dropped people by Brainard, is that yellow because it's prone? Or just because it was targeted by someone?
It was targeted.
Okay. I will draw forth a poison of potency 6 because
Ooh.
I will spend 2 willpower.
Mm-hmm.
And I will then apply it to my crossbow and shoot it at the one over there.
Very
Hopefully.
well. And there's no negatives because, of course, you are in the same zone.
Ugh.
It hits. And the armor doesn't
It
protect
hits.
it. That, I believe, means that I have to roll an endurance check
Yeah.
against... you roll 6 dice for the poison, right? Of course, trolls being trolls, they have some strength. That's 2 successes.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, they're strong trolls. But at least,
Oh.
it still does some effect.
Yeah.
It's limited
Yeah.
effect. It takes a
Still
point
takes
of
a
damage.
point of strength.
Yeah. Of course, this is a new turn, isn't it? Yep. So
So 2 damage and 1 strength damage specifically.
Yep, that's exactly it. And there we are. Okay, that's Torben. Here we have a troll that's going to attack. A troll throw. You know, it's a goodie. It's an oldie but a goodie. Why should we stop here? Frida, do you want to be 1 or 2?
It doesn't matter. 1 is fine.
Okay, you're 1. It grabs Arby and smacks you with him. Arby has no armor. And
This one's different. This is they
This
throw
one's
them.
distance instead
Yeah.
of.
Oh, okay. It's a different one. It's troll
Yep.
throw. So, grabs Arby and throws him as a ragdoll.
He lands back in our zone.
Lands back in the zone. Ah! Boomf. Maybe there.
I duck.
Exactly. As Arby gets tossed away and ends up smack dab in the middle of everything and is kind of hurt, to be honest. That was the troll. Arvia can't do anything because Arvia is knocked out. Soren, what do you want to do?
Okay. All right. I can only see 1 up here by Frida. Is there 1 with Frida, or is there another one behind it?
There is 2 by Frida. There's 1 just on the side of her as well. So the tile above Frida, it has another one.
Oh, I didn't know that. I could have been attacking them both.
Now you can. It was moving after you, I believe. Yes, it was.
Okay. I am going to shoot that one by Frida. The one that I've been shooting, the one that's already wounded.
Yep. Sensible choice. Ugh. Another hit. Ugh. Ugh. It's really the death of 1,000 cuts on this thing. Ugh.
It's still standing though.
It is.
All right, I'll shoot it again.
Ugh. Down on 1 knee now, probably.
I've got no willpower, so that's it for me.
Brenar.
All right. Well, with
Healing check on someone?
it's too many people down with too many agility damage.
Yep.
All right. Brainer is just going to look at the troll that's right in front of him, and going to burn it. Just 1 sec here, guys. Hopefully, I don't regret this later. We will see. Yeah, you know what? At this point, there's 3 people down around him.
Yep.
And 3 trolls up.
And
And
3
three
trolls
tro-
up.
yep.
All right. So, basically, yeah, we're doing that.
Oh no! That was intense. Let us hope that nothing bad happens now. That was all the points.
That
And
was all
no-
my willpower, all the
And
points.
no supercharging.
Nope.
That's actually bad luck. With that roll, you should have had a supercharging.
Where do... Oh, there it is, magic.
Ah! Brenar
I'm okay
screams
with
in
that.
horror. Could have been much worse, right?
100%
Yeah, that's-
could have been much worse.
Yeah. You
And-
found,
the
you
troll
found a
takes
nice spot
6
in the middle
points
of
of
the middle
damage.
shitty area.
I'm sorry, Abby?
You found a nice spot in the middle of the crappy part in the 30s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
And the troll just writhes as the skin bubbles, the flubber boils. This huge red burn mark on its immense belly.
And
What do you do with your fast action?
Yeah, and my fast action, I'm going to stumble with my head ragging in pain, basically back towards Galame and Soren in the middle.
Here we go. Ninja is down, the troll isn't, and there's still Rangmar there.
Or like Ragdoll here in a minute.
Yeah, Ragdoll.
Oh man, it's exactly what it was.
Yes!
But no
Unfortunately.
damage, though.
Yeah. Oh,
So he
Oh.
just flies.
Distance.
Boom.
Throw the troll. Throw the troll.
Throw with Little Adventurer.
well, no. If the troll fails, he doesn't get thrown.
Yeah.
If hit,
Oh.
the adventure is goes
Oh,
flying.
nice.
You are quite right. Yes.
Yeah, we need to keep our speed bump over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is at this point.
He tries to grapple Rangmar, who just kind of dodges under and away. And as it's so smelly. Keep your speed bump, right? Frida is up. And Frida, this is your last turn fighting because you're gonna get overcome by that
Well,
horrible...
I'm gonna freaking swing at both of them then.
Yeah, you get, I think it's the D10 now, isn't it?
Yep. And one extra, because I keep forgetting to put my
Yes.
hunter in.
Dragon Slayer, please.
So there's the first one. And then this is the second hit for the other guy.
Oh, you get an extra attack?
I get to hit both targets.
Oh, yes. Oh, nice. That is a lot of damage altogether.
That's
the
good.
first one goes down.
Yes.
You chop it in, I don't know.
And it's
How do
just
you
the-
how do you do it?
So Frida aims for the middle, chops it in half, and then goes for the follow through.
Yep. And that one doesn't have the armor to resist that, so it just slashes a huge gash in its side.
And as their stomach contents opens, Frida retches all over the place.
Yep.
There goes the rest of my agility.
Yeah, that was the rest of your agility. Arby is not dead yet, but he is hurt. He's gonna stand up. These pesky things! Pesky things! He doesn't... Rangmar! Rangmar! He gets there. That's as far as he gets. It gets there, and it gets there. Torben, take a point of damage to your agility. No, wait, that one is dead. I'm sorry. This
The
one is
other
the
one.
only one left. You know what? Trolls might be horrifying monsters and all that, but hunger only carries you so far. It's gonna
There's a
run
lot
away.
of us, and I just
Yeah,
wounded
it's
it pretty
gonna run
bad.
away. It's just it's out of there.
Oh.
It's like
Okay.
and runs away.
I wouldn't mind just hitting it with my weapons again, but okay.
I bet. Galame will be able to shoot the other one then. And tries to. I mean, it was a pretty mighty blow you struck there. So, this troll has some armor, and it doesn't help this time. Ugh! Another arrow stuck in it. As Galame goes out to the some kind of flank there to shoot. And then takes another shot. After, of course, I roll for the arrows. Dang it. We're running out of arrows quickly here, aren't we? That's a
Sorry,
miss.
my
I'm going to
life.
push that one, and I still missed. That's not so good. There's someone else who's gonna retch at the end of this turn, I can tell you that much. Will target the troll, of course. Ah! That's a hit. The troll takes that hit. It goes as the axe cleaves into its arm, that thick arm. There's now troll blood everywhere. We really need more blood everywhere, don't we? There we go. I added some blood to the battlefield. I should have thought about that earlier, shouldn't I? And that is his move. And then he takes that extra point of agility and goes down retching as well. That is something that happens when fighting trolls, apparently. You fall over retching. Torben, you're up.
Well, I will take my slow action to reload my crossbow and then switch back to my melee weaponry.
Yep.
With my fast.
RV is still out. Lupendus is still out. Dead troll. Soren, you're up.
I may as well shoot that troll.
Indeed. That's a hit. Right in the center mass. Are you out of arrows?
No, not yet. I still got a D6.
Okay. And that one glances off.
Now I'm out of arrows.
Now you're out of arrows. Oh no. Brenar, you didn't die.
Still here.
We're all
Right.
happy about that.
GM call question. I want to put my D12 arrows into Soren's quiver. How do I do
your D12 arrows into Soren's quiver. Why don't
So
you move over
basically-
to Soren and give him a bunch of stuff with the fast action?
Okay, so Soren, you now have D12 arrows. Taking it off my gear.
Perfect. He was in the process of like drawing out his axe and like slinging his shield. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you just basically see this hand come down with a huge pile of arrows.
For
Yep.
future reference, Frida's too busy vomiting right now, but I also have a quiver of arrows I can't use.
Yeah, because everyone stocked up coming down here.
Yep.
Right, and then outside of that, basically, yeah, he runs towards the fray as my fast
You're
remainder,
slow.
my
Just
slow.
take an action, yeah.
Yep, because I've currently got my sword drawn still.
Yep. Ninja's lying down, retching. The troll is not dead yet. It will probably take a step in towards, well, either Arvi or you. What do you want to be, 1 or 2?
2.
All right. Steps right over her and a good beating. Bang! Grabs the nearest, throws into another adventure, which would be, of course, Arvi then. So 1 point of damage you take. Do you have armor? Yes, you do.
Oh, yes.
You're fine. And the armor is fine too. So you are smacked into Arvi, who has no armor and takes a point of damage and is broken. And you are prone, and so is Arvi. Ah! Screams Arvi. And what kind of critical injury is that? It's a blunt critical injury.
Tiny dwarf gets squished by half elf.
Yes. Crushed elbow. Screams in pain. Alright. Yeah, so you're both lying down after this. Dead troll, Frida retching. Arvi is out as well because of that elbow. And that troll is also dead. Because you chopped it in half. So that leaves Galame.
Crushed elbow is lethal.
What?
Crushed elbow is lethal.
Yeah,
in
without
6
treatment.
days.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bone
yeah.
shards.
But it'll take a while, isn't it?
It's a D6 days.
D6 days.
Yeah, 6 days for him. So,
And no more two-handed weapons.
yeah, he had a battle axe. Galame will target the troll, of course, again, and shoot. That's a hit. And the troll will take that. Ugh. And then Galame's going back and forth. I guess you have to go back and forth to make use of the whole running and shooting at the same time.
I mean, it doesn't give you any bonus. It just lets you do it. So
Yeah, that's the point.
yeah.
So Galame will shoot again. Because we need to bring this thing down, don't we? The troll is not gone yet, and that arrow just impacts on the flubber. And Galame is out of arrows. Well, Galame does have a scimitar, so next turn it will be scimitar time. Rangmar is out. Torben is not.
Nope.
Yeah, I think it's like just the three of us now.
Yep.
Yep.
And you can
Wow.
see how some of those wounds that troll took are closing up again.
Well,
All right,
fast
man.
action to
Open
move
troll
in.
guts are suck.
And
Yeah.
then I'm gonna attack him.
Splat.
He still should be burning, but for the regenerative.
You're right. You're right. I'm gonna actually take away that point again. Then he doesn't regenerate anything. It just stays the same because he's burning.
Yes.
You're absolutely correct. And what does it look like then when Torben delivers the coup de grace?
So Torben rushes over because, you know, obviously there's a hole in the flank over there.
Yep.
Leads with his broadsword, drives up into its blubbery chest, and then just follows through with his dagger into the exposed part of its sternum. And I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Now you know why Frida threw up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will in fact take that.
Not quite enough to drop me, but oh my god, it's an ear thing.
Yeah. Brennar, you're taking a point of agility as well because that thing is close to you now.
Okay.
That was way too close. Again.
Perfect amount.
Perfect amount of way too close.
Says you.
Hey, listen. I'm not a melee character.
I'm not real good at this, but I'm gonna go over and try to get Frida back up on her feet.
Yep, healing checks abound.
You could probably use survival.
Woo! I got one. I have no willpower. I can't
Can't fake it.
I can't fake
Can't
it.
fake it.
But you got 1 point back, so you know
Sweet, it's enough to get up.
it is enough to get up. And you have to get out of that place with
I will do that
yeah, because otherwise you just go down again.
You're
Everybody's
just
gonna,
like, oh god, the smell of troll guts.
yeah, you're gonna just have everybody's staying away from the corpses because they are stinky.
I will try to go like there, and then I realize that I'm really shitty at it. I feel kind of bad that I can't be there for her as I take a point of damage to my empathy by pushing the roll.
Galame
Okay,
will
I'll
try
make you
to
something for dinner. You can get it back.
Galame will try to help one of the dwarves up. Pushing it. Worked. So our friend Rangmar gets a point back and
Brainer is going to try and get
dragged
Arvia
out
up.
of there. I guess Corbin and the two of you will drag Nindia away
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah.
Because,
Make everyone's lives easier.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'll try and get Arvia up.
Yeah. That works.
Who else is down now that I'm not broken? I can heal.
You can help Arvi, the old dwarf. He's broken by damage. He's broken by strength.
Okay. I will try a heal check on him. Where is that?
Didn't pay the troll toll.
Frida's like, damn it, I've cut enough of these wounds, I should know how to sew one up.
Do you want to push that?
Yes, I will.
That didn't work at all.
Nope.
I thought there was consequences
Oh my
to a
God.
failed heal check.
Galame will, so this guy is up. Galame will try with Ninja as well. That works.
Right.
Ninja gets...
I am going to look at that elbow and say, like, well, shit, that may have to come off.
Give me a moment here. I get my wits back around me.
Thank you, young man. Thank you, says Arvi. Oh, it's not a problem. Our bones are quite... And it is, in fact, as if that crushed elbow has never existed. Yeah.
So that's as I'm working on him at that point, it's like, well, that's convenient.
Yeah, you have not spent enough time underground, young man. When you get old enough, you will be able to do this too.
I'm gonna
Yes.
try and get Lupunder up.
Yeah, that could be a good idea. Good job. He is in fact completely fine now. Thank you, thank you. Oh, those wretched trolls. They smell something awfully, don't they?
Okay.
So, RV, Rankmar, do you have something that can, for future reference, let us know before we get into troll territory?
We didn't necessarily know that they were here. No, we really didn't, says Rangmar. But they do come to these areas every once in a while to have a snack, I suppose, yes.
And second question, is there anything that we could possibly do about the stench?
Not to my knowledge, no. Everybody
I
agrees.
legitimately do not remember the last trolls we fought smelling this bad.
It's just because they've been down here this long.
The air is so fresh.
You mean stale.
Mhm.
I see you also speak sarcasm.
Fun stuff.
So,
Trolls.
On the surface, there might be some sort of like strong smelling like plant or something that we could make into a paste. But we'd have to go into the woods to find something like that.
What are woods?
Where the trees are.
The equivalent of putting Vicks under your nose.
What are trees?
How long have you been down here?
their lives.
We
Like mushrooms, but made out of more solid material.
I
and
hear
they grow
the
much taller.
surface people use the sun to measure time, says Rangmar.
How do you measure time?
Or was
down
it the
here?
moon? I don't remember.
Sometimes both.
Oh. How do
Yeah,
you do
rotating.
that?
Rotating cycles. And how do you measure it down here?
Oh, we look at the bones of the earth and how it grows. Yes. It has been many layers since we were up. Many layers indeed.
Getting that very, very, very Trent feeling from Lord of the Rings of the takes a really long time to make a decision when dealing
Like
with these
I
guys.
said. Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
I didn't realize
they're
we stumbled
smart,
upon
it's
an
just-
Entmoot.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, at this point, Brainer actually opens up his water skin and takes a sniff. DM, for all purposes, this is Marthia's or the Abyssal Worm's blood that I've kept for a really long time.
Oh.
Does it smell anything even remotely better than that?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think so.
And if one should
Which
happen
is a
to
bad
take,
thing,
like,
isn't it?
if one should happen to take and soak some of that in rags and stick them up one's noses, can we no longer take agility damage?
You know what? This is a crafting check, clearly.
This is 100% me trying to do a crafting check, so we
Yep.
do not take agility damage going forward.
Yep, I'm fine with that.
You give Frida a thought, and she digs in her bag and digs out some mint from her cooking kits, and does something similar with the mint leaves.
Yeah, you can make a thing that will last for like one fight or something like that, and then it's done. Because
Okay.
you have a single success. It will. Yep, I'll allow that.
Do you need a crafting check for the mint thing, or can I use my cooking skills?
I'll still have a crafting roll though, because you're
Okay.
trying to build something that's gonna stick to your nose.
That's fair. Sure, I'll push that. There we go.
Very good.
And I look at Torben and I give him the blood-soaked rag and say, "Here, stick this up your nose if you ever need to go into combat."
And I give some mint leaves to Soren. This might work a little better than blood-soaked rags.
There's a very easy solution if it comes down to it.
Don't get in melee range.
That. Also, if you hit a human, and I'm assuming human-ish species, right about there, and break the nose, it'll swell with blood and block off the olfactory senses.
I like Soren's idea. I don't mind having a broken nose if it comes down to it.
My snout works a little differently.
But yeah, this. I mean, hopefully, now that we know what that strange smell is, maybe we can determine it, before we get ambushed.
Oh, it's definitely something that you can, no pun intended, smell a mile away.
Frida's actually gonna burn a willpower to remember the scent.
Oh, you're doing the hunting thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll allow it. Sounds good.
All right.
And
So
then I become a warning system.
Yep. That makes sense.
So this corridor down to the south is one that no trolls came from.
Yes. Yes, we can try that. We can try that. Says the two dwellers. Follow us. We know exactly where we're going.
Oh, before we go, at this point I look over towards Lupander and say, "We need an arrow refresh."
Oh, here.
Yes, he says.
Also, we could probably pull some out of the bodies.
Well, that's what the sledge has. No, the sledge has a bunch of supplies on it.
As much as I hate to admit it, says Arvia, we all took a bit of a beating from these trolls. How urgent is it that we press on? A rest would not go amiss.
Oh,
Well, somewhere
We
that
went-
doesn't smell as bad.
we wouldn't want to take a rest in a spot we might get attacked in again.
That's true enough.
Oh, I mean, the scent of the trolls will probably keep any other predatory animals at bay.
Except more trolls.
That is also a good point.
And I apologize, what kin is Arvia?
She is dwarf of the Kroom clan.
Okay.
No, she came down here. She's formerly of the Kroom clan.
Or formerly of the Kroom clan, yes. But she was formerly of the Kroom clan even before that.
Yeah.
So,
But I
So-
mean, we could back up a little bit back towards that elevator and rest away from the stench to some.
Yeah. So,
It's
I'm
not a
going to
bad
ask
idea.
again, what other things are we likely to deal with down here?
oh, there are all sorts of things, says Arvie. All sorts. There's cave creatures and bats and huge spiders and
When you-
well, trolls you've already met.
When you say cave creatures, do you mean like centipedes or like some sort of like amorphous blob of liquefied flesh and stone?
Troglodytes.
No, cave creatures, yes. They're big and stinky. Yes.
So like troll spawn.
Well, not quite like that. No, they are, well, what can I say about them?
How many
they're,
limbs do I have to cut off before they go away?
Oh, quite a few, probably. Yes.
So how far from here to a place where we would deem your safe area or a city or whatever you call as a village down here? How much further?
Oh, it'll take a long while. Yes, long while. This is just the surface now.
All right, let's
We're
back
going
up.
back to the surface to surface elevator area.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go to the elevator and camp in front of it. I'll keep first watch.
All right. The two dwellers look. Oh, see, our descendants are very weak, but they will accept it. And
Become a week again, I'll leave you here. You guys can deal with your own goddamn problem.
Right.
I was just gonna say, I can throw you just as far as those trolls can.
Yes. They will be grumpy a bit, and I guess the best part of going up in the elevator to
Well,
the
we could
surface
say
area.
up in front of the elevator.
We're just going in front of the elevator.
Oh, to the elevator. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there
So
you're
you said
gonna
there's
be. and-
supplies on the sled, Mikhail?
yeah, there's a bunch of supplies on the sled. I'll tell you more
Something
about
I
them.
can make food of?
I will tell you. Have you? Well, I guess you've eaten your breakfast and your water for today, so that would make sense, wouldn't it?
Probably before we left, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see now. I am just scrolling to the good. There we go. So 2 sleds whose runners are coated with a metal that glides completely without friction. 2 kegs each of glue, tar, lamp oil, fat, drinking water, and a lubricant made from mashed slugs. Provisions. So everybody starts out with your max provision dice. Yep, that's basically it. And there are some other things that the dwellers have with them. They have a couple of backpacks as well.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it. So yes, they do have the provision, but everybody starts out at your max.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming that you ate on the surface, ate
Yeah.
and drank on the surface
that would make
this
sense.
morning, so that
When we
means
get up,
that
it'll
we
be time
are
to eat again.
doing 6 hours of resting, aren't we?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I'll keep watch.
Yeah. Are you unharmed?
Probably the least other than maybe Soren.
I can tell you that Galame is in fact completely unharmed and can therefore.
Galame can do the watch.
Yep,
Sure, let's
Galame
give
will
Galame
do the
the watch.
He takes one for the team. And Nindia gets to rest. And Arvia gets to rest.
We need to make camp or anything, or
Not really down here, no.
okay, perfect.
And Lupendus gets to rest. And Arvi also gets to rest. And so does Drangmar. So you can click your own rest buttons as well.
Right. While
User
I-
stop map, not a function. Oh well.
Yeah, there's like a weird glitch here, but it still applies to everything. So
Yeah.
I am going to spend 6 XP to pick up Axe Fighter level 2.
Ah. Hmm.
Because it's about that time of night, I figured I would wait to see what the XP is and then decide. We've had that at the start of next game.
Right.
Do that at the beginning.
Yeah, the XP for this session will be... Let's see now. You participated, so that's 1.
Woohoo!
You haven't traveled through a hex, and you
Wow.
didn't discover a new adventure site, but you did defeat 1 or more monsters, so that's 1. 2 then.
Woo!
Yay. No pride, no dark secret. Did you risk your life for another PC? Yes, you did, so 3.
Excellent. Gives me options.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting level 2 of Dragon Slayer.
Ooh.
Because I feel like that's going to be super useful down here.
Well, I can get.
You never know.
I can pick up something from the crew that might be useful, or I can up one of my my own two existing ones.
Yep. What would you want to do with that?
I did say that I should take pack rat, so I can, have
You
the-
did. Someone will teach you
Yeah.
pack rat,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I think
I can
everybody's
teach you.
got it.
Yeah,
At this point, yeah.
yeah. So he did say I should take that one because, so I can take the other weapon as well.
Yes, so Frida doesn't have to carry it.
And
Can you access it, or should I?
I got it.
Okay. There you go.
Oh, I'm putting that up. Can we do that now, or I thought we had to wait till
I'll
next
I'll
game.
allow it because it's
Yeah.
like 5 minutes left. or so.
Okay.
It's a few.
Yeah, it's just basically saving bookkeeping at the start of next game.
Yeah.
That is fair.
What talent are you getting? There, you added a new talent for some reason.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, it's because I accidentally deleted Path of the Blade and had to re-add it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fixed it.
I am spending some XP to get rank 2 of Dragon Slayer, though.
Oh, there it is. I can put it there for you. There we go. Done. Rank 2 does what? It does
So now,
1 additional point of damage on monsters.
yeah. So my attacks are +1, and then I do 1 additional point of damage.
Yeah,
Nice.
and then you get an artifact die on the next step, which is going to
A
be
second artifact
scary
die.
stuff.
Silly question. Does lucky apply to magic mishaps?
It
Yeah,
doesn't.
plus no.
Crap.
Yeah,
If
no,
the magic
you're-
if the magic mishap tells you to roll on a critical table,
Then it will.
then it will.
Yeah,
But
Okay,
only that.
alright.
yeah, because it only applies to critical injuries. I need to get you characters an enemy who has executioner, clearly.
No.
Anyway, yes, this is an excellent place to leave our valiant heroes for this night. As, well, day, night, who knows down here. As you rest up and get ready to push into these depths once more.
So my question is, how do these crazy dwarves get past trolls and shit?
Are you asking them?
Sure, Frida will ask, because she's blunt like that. How the hell do you guys do this on your own?
The
How do you
ridiculous
not
stuff you might
die?
answer.
Oh, we use the cracks, says Army. Yes, says Rangmar. We use
What
the cracks.
cracks?
Oh, the cracks in the walls. We have to walk the big paths now because you surface dwellers are here, but us, we can get by through the cracks. Yes, indeed.
How,
They can make themselves really thin.
Brainer, what kind of sorcery is this?
Dwarven magics when you get to a certain age down here, I guess.
I was literally going to say that, Torvin. Yes, it's basically it's outside of the scope of my knowledge.
Yeah, that is quite right. You surface dwellers, it'll take some time. When you reach our age and have seen some layers of mountain grow, then you'll be able to do it.
Oh, darling, I have seen shit that will turn your hair whiter than it already is.
Perhaps. And so, our brave heroes, or I don't know, our brave rogues and raiders of these forbidden lands will take a well-earned rest and then head further into the depths of Stonegarden deeps, or the deeps under Stonegarden to be precise. And in 2 weeks, we will see what that means. See you, everyone.
Night, folks.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Night.